the transcript of the 19th of July 2023
Yeah.
at page 25 thereof, and then from line 13, where Mr. Baloyi says to Mrs. Zandile Khumalo, "Yes, you may proceed." And Ms. Khumalo responds, "When we looked around just to see where the other phones were, my mother recalled that she was busy charging her phone on top of the stove, and it was still there." That's the first reference. And with regard to the phone of the deceased, we find reference at page 27 of the records at line 3, where Ms. Khumalo is speaking, and she says, "We recovered Senzo's phone right there underneath the stove," and that's in reference to when they returned from the hospital. I'm well cognizant, my lord, of the fact that the cell phone records says otherwise. As the court pleases, my lord.
Yes, sir.
We are aware of that evidence, and we will address the court at the end of the case as part of some, perhaps, other motives at play in this matter.
Okay, so you're not taken by surprise.
No, we are perfectly aware of that.
It's a point you're going to argue.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Thanks. Okay. Okay, you can continue.
As the court please, my lord.
Brigadier, yes, reminded that they're still under oath.
Yes, my lord.
Sorry, my lord, just before Advocate Baloyi starts, I think yesterday I just requested an indulgence when I was asked to interpret the words that were written over there in Simbi, Hlanyisa all over. So Hlanyisa all over. I was asked to interpret
Yeah,
the
I
evidence.
remember.
Yes. Before I start, my lord, I'll just say that the words used are like words of slang. That's slang being spoken there. So it's basically interpreted as the tool that makes the gents go crazy. Basically gents, but all over, it's slang for street smart, streetwise. Someone who's street smart or streetwise.
Okay. So that's the interpretation.
That's correct.
Okay, thanks. It's photo number, by the way.
I can't remember the number, my lord.
Okay, fine.
Remember the number.
I'll just quickly check my notes.
The cell phone number ends with 2498.
Oh, does it?
The 2498 number at the back. 2498.
What about it?
It's the cell number that we were referring to, the runaway phone number.
Is that so? Okay.
Yes.
I think we can come back
Yeah,
to
fine.
this. But
We
photo
can note of it.
37 was about the firearm being the killing machine.
Yes.
My colleague tells me it's photo number 39.
Okay. Photo 39.
Yes. Yeah, I do have it in Simbi. Yeah, it's photo 39.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you.
Is it so?
Yes. Brigadier Gininda, yesterday you referred to an entry in your diary on the 27th of July,
That is correct, my lord.
2020.
That is correct, my lord.
Izolo ukhulumeke ngokubhalwe kudayari yakho kwange-27 zikaJuly 2020 yebo kuyiqiniso.
And you testify that this is the entry that was made when the firearm was handed over to Lieutenant Colonel Mangena.
Indeed, my lord, that is correct. In addition to the ones of the SAP firearm register from Cleveland SAPS.
Ushilo-ke ukuthi lokho kwabhalwa-ke uma ngaba isibhamu sesidluliselwa kuyena uLieutenant Colonel Mangena, yebo kuyiqiniso, nokuthi-ke ngaphezu kwalokho bese kubhaliwe-ke kuzona iy'ncwadi zase-police station yase-Cleveland.
Yes. You've already referred to the entry of the SAP 13 of Cleveland yesterday.
Correct, my lord.
Bese ngikhulumele nalokho nangalokho okubhaliwe kuyona i-SAP 13 yase-Cleveland.
I just want to show you a document, my lord, we've marked it exhibit T. That will be the extract of the diary of Brigadier Gininda on the 27th of July, 2020. Can you just place the contents thereof on the record?
Yes, my lord. The date it's Monday, July 27, 2020, and the relevant entry, my lord, it's at 14:30, and it reads as follows: Exhibit booked out to FSL ballistic as per SAP 13/86/2015 for safekeeping. Exhibit back number PA 40044043332, sealed and not tempered. Exhibit as per SAP 13/86/2015, handed over correctly to Lieutenant Colonel Mangena. He signed there, but you can see the LT Colonel and Mangena, and then he placed his signature, my lord. And then there's also an entry that says fitted under back PA 400-198-5198.
Okay. Thanks. Okubhaliwe-ke lana ukuthi-ke i-exhibit eyakhishwa-ke noma-ke eyabhukwa-ke ngu-FSL ngaphansi-ke kwayo-ke i-ballistic SAPS 13/86/2015 ukuthi-ke uyogcinwa-ke kusona-ke isikhwama sezobufakazi esiwu-PA 40044043332 futhi-ke yayivaliwe-ke azange kube khona ukuthi-ke kwenziwe lutho noma-ke iphazanyiswe-ke exhibit nanjengoba ibhaliwe-ke ku-SAP 13/86/2015 yasenikezelwa-ke kuyena-ke uLieutenant Colonel Mangena isikhwama esiwu-PA 400-198-5198.
My lord, as I said, this copy forms part of my statement, which is in the docket, which was filed then in 2020. But I've attached it as a proof that I handed it to Colonel Mangena.
Futhi-ke le statement lesike sikhona-ke noma-ke siyingxenye-ke kwidokodo lami noma-ke le copy lena-ke ingxenye-ke kwistatement sami futhi khona-ke kwidokodo ngayifaka lapho ukutshengisa-ke ukuthi ngasidlulisela kuyena uLieutenant Colonel Mangena.
But you didn't read the rest of the notation on the diary, where you say NB. Did you read that at the end of this?
No, I didn't, my lord. I can read it in
Just read it because it's part of it. Is that not
Yes,
so?
it is, my lord. Then under NB, my lord, it says the exhibit on the above entry will be utilized as an exhibit as and when the trial starts under Phosphorus 636/1014, and then there's a duty of time of 2250.
Kuyaqhubeka-ke okubhaliwe-ke lana ukuthi-ke izibithi leli noma-ke ubufakazi lobu-ke buzosetshenziswa-ke nanjengobufakazi-ke uma ngaba icala seliqulwa ngaphansi ke kwecala ke uFostorus case 63610 2014 kwanesikhathi ke esibhaliwe laphayana u2250.
Sorry, whose handwriting is this?
My lord, the top one is mine and the last one is mine. The middle
Okay,
one
yeah.
is my colleague, Sergeant Mkola, who was
Okay,
with me.
okay, fine.
So as I was doing the exhibit, then I asked her to make this entry for Colonel Mangena, but I was there.
Lana ke inkantolo ufuna ukwazi ubani wayebhala lana phezulu ke kwabhala mina nasenzansi yimina la maphakathi nendawo kwabhala ke uzakwethu uSergeant Mukhula njengoba ngangibhizi ke ngimcela ke ukuthi ke akabhale khona lapho.
And then the signature,
Ngangikhona, sorry.
the signature attached is the one of Lieutenant Colonel Mangena. ma'am.
Owasayinda ke uyena uLieutenant Colonel Mangena.
Okay.
Now, Brigadier Gininda, if we can return to Exhibit FF, Exhibit GG, Exhibit HH, as well as Exhibit JJ. You have testified that as a result of the information and the names contained in these documents, firstly, Exhibit FF, the confession by accused number 1 to Lieutenant Colonel Mboto on the 30th of May 2020. Then Exhibit GG1, the pointings out by accused number 1 to Lieutenant Colonel Khadebe on the 5th of June 2020, as well as photos there too. The pointings out are Exhibit GG, the photos are Exhibit GG1, as well as the 2 confessions by accused number 2, namely to Lieutenant Colonel Rapaju on the 19th of June 2020, which serves as Exhibit HH before this court, and the confession to Magistrate Grenier on the 24th of June 2020 at Boksburg Magistrate Court, which serves as Exhibit JJ before this court. You mentioned that as a result of the information contained in these documents, you started profiling the persons mentioned therein and eventually leading to the identification of those suspects. Is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Ushilo ke uma singabuyela ke kulamazibiti alandelayo uFF uGG HH kanye ke noJJ la futhi khona ke kanye nestatement esenziwa uyena ke umsolo wokuqala kuyena uKenneth Mboto nge-30 zika May 2020 la akhomba khona ke noma ke ne pointing out ayenza ke nge-5 zika June 2020 hamba naye ke uLieutenant Colonel Khadebe kanye futhi nestatement ezimbili ke zokugonyuluka ezenziwa uyena umsolo wesibini nge-19 zika June 2020 kanye kuyena uLieutenant Colonel Rapadu kanye na statement awasenza kuyena uMagistrate uCronier nge-24 zika June 2020 enkantolo yaseBoksburg. Ushilo ukuthi la uqale khona ke manje ukuthi bese uyathola ukuthi wobani ke labo bantu labo abachaziwe noma ekhulunyiwe ngabo kuzona lezo statement noma lawo ma documents. Yebo kunjalo.
Can you indicate what those names are and on which document, and as to whether they have any connection with any of the accused that are before court?
That is correct, my lord. So I will deal with Exhibit HH, my lord. firstly. All right. Now, on the first paragraph, or the second rather, my lord, it's line, the first name in line 5, my lord, it reads as follows, then I'll just mention the name, my lord. During mid-October 2014, I received a call from a friend, Mthokoziseni, who was with Mapisa. Mapisa, my lord, during the profiling was identified as accused 4. I mean, he says a lot about him, but specifically that's where his name came up, and that is accused number 4.
Maphakathi ke nendawo ke na ke October ngathola ucingo ke kumngani ke okumthokoziseni owaye kanye naye ke uMaphisa ke umsolwa wesine.
Then further down, my lord, it says Karos was nearby as I could hear his voice. This name, my lord, was linked to accused number 3. So Karos is accused number 3.
Ngase ngizwa ke izwi lakhe ke uCarlos leli ke igama ke hlanganiswa naye ke umsolwa wesithathu.
And then he says he decided to leave to Johannesburg, and I'm trying to summarize just to go straight to the names, my lord. He says, I then went to Phosphorus Men's Hostel. I then met with Moses Sibia. And then he also mentioned Sifiso Zungu, which is accused, Muzi is accused number 1, Sifiso being accused number 5.
Lana ke yasho ukuthi ke ngahlangana naye ke umuzi iphinde ithi Sifiso
Zungu.
nasi umuzi sibiya ke uyena umsolo wokuqala ikhulume nango Sifiso Zungu umsolo wesihlanu.
He says when he refers to Sifiso Zungu, my lord, Sifiso Zungu, also known as Nkani. So that is accused 5, my lord.
Usifiso Zungu waziwa ke nangelikankani umsolwa wesihlanu lowo.
And then it goes further, my lord, to say he was given a briefing and insight. And then he says later Karos Buthelezi and Mapisa joined them. Karos Buthelezi, that is referred, my lord, in terms of the investigation, is accused 3. And Mapisa is accused 4.
Ngophenyo ke elwenziwe ke uma ekhuluma ngoCarlos Buthelezi ke umsolwa wesithathu bese kuthi ke uMaphisa umsolwa wesine.
And the deponent of this document, my lord, is accused number 2. So in essence, from accused 1 to 4, the names are in this confession. They are repeated as I've indicated yesterday, but in essence, all 5 accused, including the deponent who is accused number 2, are appearing here, my lord.
Umuntu ke okuyena ke owenza istatement lesi umsolwa wesibili ke kodwa ke kusuka ke umsolwa wokuqala owesithathu owesine nowesihlanu ke bakhona ke la babhaliwe kanye naye ke number 2 okuyena owenza istatement lesi.
So, my lord, the names are repeated on different occasions, but insofar as the role that we played, but those names are consistent. Accused 1, accused 3, accused 4, and accused 5.
La magama ke akhona ke la aphindaphindiwe ke ngokumayela nokuthi ke ubani owayenzani ke kodwa ke kusuka ke na kumsolwa wokuqala owesithathu owesibili okuyena ke wasenza istatement lezi owesithathu wesine kanye nowesihlanu.
So that is insofar as double H is concerned, my lord.
Ukangako ke ngokubayela naye ke double H.
Now, if one moves to Exhibit JJ, my lord. And then on the annexure, my lord, of Exhibit JJ, the first sentence says, I used to work in Carltonville in 2015. I received a call from Sifiso Ntuli. This name was linked to accused 5, my lord.
Ngangisebenza ke eCarltonville ngo2014 ngathola ke ucingo kuya kuSifiso Ntuli leligama ke lihlanganiswa naye ke umsolwa wesihlanu.
And then that he got his number from Muzi. This name Muzi was linked to accused number 1, my lord.
Nokuthi ke number yami ke wayithola ke na ke umuzi igama ke likamuzi lihlanganiswa naye umsolwa wokuqala.
The court can bear with me, I just want to go down. And then he says, while we were at while we were in Sifiso's room, Karos and Togoziseni Mapisa arrived. Karos, that name, my lord, was linked to accused 3 and Togoziseni Mapisa is accused 4.
In whose room? Usifiso's room. Sathi ke sisekulona ke ikamera lakhe ke uSifiso kwase kufika ke uCarlos kanye ke no Mtokoziseni Maphisa uCarlos ke igama elihlanganiswa naye ke umsolo wesithathu bese kuthi ke uMaphisa umsolo wesine.
Then the next sentence, my lord, it says it was myself, and myself refers to the deponent who is now accused number 2. Then it says Karos, which is now linked to accused 3, Togoziseni accused 4, Sifiso, which is accused 5, and it says Mozi, which is accused number 1, my lord.
Lana ke uthi ke kwakuyimina usho yena ke umsolo wesibili okuyena owenza lesi statement uCarlos ukumsolo wesithathu Mthokoziseni kumsolo wesine uSifiso kanye okumsolo wesihlanu kanye noMuzi okumsolo wokuqala.
Now, my lord, also in this exhibit, the names are repeated depending on the activities that were taking place, but the essence of it, the names of accused 1, 3, 4, and 5 are mentioned as the co-perpetrators in this document, my lord.
Lana ke amagama ke ayaphinda phindwa ke kuya ngokuthi ke kwakuyini eyayenzeka ke noma ekuyona eyayenziwa kumagama abo ke ummangalo wokuqala owesithathu owesine kanye nowesihlanu.
And that's what gave the rise, my lord, for me to focus on the profiling in terms of identifying as to who are these individuals and the profiling process that started, my lord.
Ikona ke lokho ekwaholela ke ekuthini ke manje bese ngiqala ke ukuthi ngibheke ke nokufuna ukwazi ke ukuthi wobani labantu ekhulunywa ngabo lana phecelezi ke lokho okubiza ukubrigade ukuthi ke uprofile.
Now, yesterday you mentioned that bank statements of accused number 1 were obtained on which his personal information, including cell phone numbers, appeared. Is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Ushilo ke izolo ukuthi wase uthola ke manje itatimende zebhange zakhe ke umsolo wokuqala nalana khona ke inamba yakhe ke iphone ikhona yebo kuyiqiniso.
For instance, Exhibit EE1, those are Capitec bank statements of accused number 1. You've already placed the particulars on record, his address, as well as the cell phone number that appears there.
Correct, my lord, I did.
Singakhuluma ngaye ke uexhibit EE1 ekuyistatement ke sakwa Capitec ke la imininingwane yakhe ikhona ke ikheli la ayehlala khona yebo kuyiqiniso.
Then Exhibit EE in brackets 5, net bank statements of accused number 1. You've already placed that on record.
That is correct, my lord.
Kanye futhi ke naye EE5 ekuyistatement sase Nedbank yebo naso ngikhulumile ngaso.
And Exhibit EE in bracket 7, the bank statement of accused number 1.
That is correct, my lord.
Kanye naye ke EE7 ekuyistatement sebhangi sakhe umsolo wokuqala yebo kuyiqiniso.
And yesterday, before the adjournment, we dealt with the bank statement of accused number 2.
Yes, my lord.
Yebo kuyiqiniso ukuthi izolo ke besibuka ke noma sibheka ke istatement sebhangi sikamsola wesibili.
That was handed up as Exhibit DD in bracket 1.
Yes,
Is
I
it-
recall, my lord.
Ngiyakhumbula ke ukuthi lo sona ke izibithi uDD1.
Were the bank statements in respect of the other accused also obtained?
That is correct, my lord.
Ingabe itatimende zebhangi zabanye abasolwa nazo ke zatholwa noma zafunwa ke yebo kuyiqiniso.
Were there any bank statements in respect of accused number 3?
No, my lord, we couldn't get any bank statements in relation, with regards to accused number 3.
Cha azange siyithole itatimende zebhange ezakhe noma ekule zakhe umsolwa wesithathu.
And in respect of accused number 4?
We did find, my lord, the bank statements for accused 4 and accused 5 as well.
Sathola ke istatimende sebhange sakhe umsolwa wesine kanye nowesihlanu.
Just want to show you exhibit triple E in brackets 3. These are Capitec bank statement of accused number 4. If you can just place his personal particulars on record, but in particular the cell phone number that's given in the bank statement.
The name, my lord, it's Mapisa Mthokozisi Zipozonke Mapisa. ID number, it's 8510046202081.
Igama
Just bear
ke
with me, I just want to see.
igama Mthokozisi Zipho zonke Maphisa ne ID number ke ayifundile ubrigadier.
My lord, if the court can just bear with me. The court can bear with me, my lord. Just the writing here is so small, so I want just to get the assistance. My lord, the cell phone number depicted is 071 395 3801. And the address given, let me start from the top, my lord. It says customer generated inquiry, and the date thereof in which this was generated. No, it says customer number, my lord, 2025 42920. Last name Mapisa. ID or passport number 8510046202081, and the address is 7029 Close Street, Maryfield, extension 8, Mayfield, Daviton.
Imininingwane ke leyo ekhona ke etholakalayo lapho inamba ke kamakhala ekhukhwini 0713953801 ID number 8510046202081 isho ke nekheli lase Daviton.
Yes.
And when was that information furnished to the bank, according to the bank records, the date?
Someone else, So according to the date, my lord, where it says last change, it says 3/1 of 8/2015.
Ngokwe-date lana ke ukuthi ke yanikezwa nini ke noma yashintshwa nini ke ili 31/08/2015.
Yes, my lord, that is the date that I could see.
Iyona ke date engibonayo leyo.
Is that the only date that appears there? At the end of the document, any other date?
If I can just check my lord for the moment.
I think we can come back to that.
No, my lord, I don't see any date unless I'm missing it. I don't know.
Thank you.
No, my lord, I don't. At the end of the document is the ID of the applicant.
Yes.
In other words, that's what I see here. The
Thank
ID
you.
document.
mentioned that bank statement of accused number 5 were also obtained.
Correct, my lord.
Can I just have the bundle of exhibits?
Ishilo ukuthi naso isitatimende sebhange sika number 5 thatholakala yebo kuyiqiniso.
I just want to show you exhibit triple E in brackets 6. These are net bank statements. If you can just put the personal particulars as appear on page 14 of exhibit triple E 6, or perhaps just start on page 1, then proceed to pages 14 and 15. First page 1, the personal particulars.
Page 1 on top, my lord, it says Mr. Ntuli F, zone 14 is 3478, zone 14, Wesselton, Emelo, that is the address, 2351, my lord. So that is the address on exhibit triple E, my lord. And the next. Then it says statement date 24 April 2015, monthly,
Yes.
from 7 November 2014 to 24 April 2015.
7 November.
November 2014 to 24 April 2015.
Imininingwane ifundeka ngalendlela ke ngaphezulu ke kubhalwe Ntuli F zone 14 eWesselton eMelo futhi ke statement lesi sisuka from 7 November 2014 kuyofika ke 24 April 2015.
I'm not sure if I should read the account number into record, my lord.
Sorry,
The account number.
no, it's not necessary. You can proceed to page 14 and 15 where a cell phone number appears.
Okay. Okay, let me use this one. I don't want to make a mistake. So in page 14, my lord, the phone number that appears, it's +27 73 305 9202.
Inamba ke evelayo ke la ye cell phone ku page 14 073 205 9202.
No, 305. 305 9202.
Oh, not 205,
No,
sorry.
yeah. +27 73 305
Sorry.
9202.
Ngithe 25 now 305 9202. Sorry.
Yes. The other number that is here, my lord, it's a work number, it's a landline. So the cell phone, it's this particular one, my lord.
Enye ke number khona lana inamba ke yomsebenzi.
Yes, and on the last page, page 15, the date on which the information was furnished to the bank.
Yes, my lord, but before I move there, what is of important as well is the residential address is also stated as Wesselton, Emelo, both as the postal and residential address, my lord.
Okusemqoka ke lana ukuthi ke ikheli ke la ahlala khona ke elithi ke iWesselton eMelo.
Now, page 15, my lord, unless I put the wrong, this page 15 is only a date. It's only dated. I don't see entries. of
Yes,
the-
what is the date there?
Oh. The date, my lord, it's 07/10/2011.
Idate ekhona ke la ku page 15 07/10/2011.
There's a date and place, my lord, where the document was signed. It says FR Mall and there's a signature.
Kunendawo ke ne date ke ethi FR Mall kwase kuyasayindwa ke.
if I can also refer you to bank statements from ABSA. Which serve before this court as Exhibit EE 8. If you can just place the personal particulars there on record, the address and the cell phone number.
Okay, personal particulars, my lord. It says Mr. Fisobuhle Ntuli, identity document 86011 058 12086, and the cell phone number is 073 305 9202, my lord.
Imininingwane ekhona ke lana ithi ke istatement lesi ke istatement ezakwa ABSA u EE 8 ufibhale Fisobuhle Ntuli, ID number uyifundileke brigadier ne number kamakhalekhukhwini ewu-073 305 9202.
The customer name, my lord, says F. Ntuli, and the date is 24/04/2013, and there's a signature as well.
Kubhaliwe ke ukuthi customer ke u-F Ntuli i-date ke 24/04/2013 kwase kuyasayindwa.
Yes, ma'am. And then the given address on top, my lord, it says state. Oh, no. This is for the retailer, my lord. Yeah, that's basically the personal particulars.
Iyona ke imininingwane leyo.
And the date?
The date is 24/04/2013, my lord.
Date ke 24 April 2013.
Thank you. Can I? When testifying, you referred to the evidence of Mr. Matlow of the Road Traffic Management Corporation.
That is correct, my lord.
Kuyiqinisa ukuthi ngikhulumile ngobufakazi bakhe ke noma ngikhulumile ngaye ke uMr. Matlow.
You referred to Exhibit AAA in brackets 1, his affidavit.
That is correct, my lord.
Nokuthi ke ngikhulumile ngaye so statement sakhe esifungelwe u-AAA 1.
And you referred to the 2 infringement notices that were issued to him.
That is correct, my lord.
Ngikhulumile futhi ke nangawa ama notice noma ke incwadi ke ayithola ke ezakhishwa zikhishelwa yena.
That is now him referring to accused number 5, my lord.
Mangikhuluma ngaye ke ngikhuluma ngaye umsolwa wesihlanu.
I just want to refer you to Exhibit AAA in brackets 1, paragraph A. There's an infringement notice. Also at paragraph K, there's an infringement notice. If you can just place the name of the infringer, the ID, as well as the cell phone number and the address.
Okay. Okay, the cell phone number, my lord, it's 073 305 9202. The address looks like it's 87 Dube Street, Waiteville, Benoni, my lord. And then the infringer, it's Ntuli. F. Ngifunda nayi cell phone number, nayi address, Ntuli.
Okay. Lana ke uma ke kukhishwa ke lokusho ukuthi ubani ke lona ke owaphula ke umthetho wezendlela ubhaliwe ke uNtuli F ikheli ke elibhaliwe lana 87 Dube Street eWatville eBinoni cell number ke u07 33059202.
The ID number, my lord, let me just try and mix it up. If you can just use this one. The writing on this one, my lord, is very, very small. The date thereof, my lord, it's for the infringement is 2016-0209. And ID number, I'm just trying to find that. Yes, the ID number, my lord, it's 86011056120086.
ID number ke u86011056120086.
That is the first one, my lord.
The date of the infringement, or did you place that on record?
Yes, I did. I did.
thank
I
you.
said the date of infringement is 2016-0209.
Ngishilo ke ukuthi ke ilanga ke leli ekuthiwa ilona ke ophula ngalo ke umthetho ke wezendlela 2016-0209.
The second one, my lord, is still Ntuli F, ID number, same 86011056120086. The date of the infringement is 20. My lord, maybe let me just check. Is it page 7, the second infringement? If I place
Yes,
it incorrectly.
it's paragraph K. Just check.
So just to make sure that I place the correct portion on record, the correct one, my lord. The second one. Yes, the second one, my lord, is still, the infringer is F Ntuli. The cell phone number is still the same, 073-305-9202. The vehicle in question is a VW Polo, gray in color. The date, just check the date. The date of infringement is 2016-0320. And the ID number, my lord, it's 86 as I've placed it, 011-056-120086.
Nalana ke imininingwane iseyiyona ke F-Ntuli inamba u0733059202 ilanga ke noma ke idate kuthiwa iyona ke phula ngayo ke umthetho wezendlela kwa ithi 2016-0320 imoto kwakuyi VW iPolo egrey ngombala ne-ID number ke futhi ke kuseyiyona 86011056120086.
And then the vehicle license number in question, my lord, was CT79YZGP.
Futhi ke imoto ke yona ke kwaku CT79YZGP.
And the residential address of the infringer is 87 Dube Street, Waiteville, Benoni.
Futhi ke ikheli u87 Dube Street, Watville eBinoni.
Yes, that's the one.
Thank you. If we can revert to Exhibit E in bracket 3, the Capitec Bank statements. Can you just place the name of the account holder on record, the address and cell phone number?
The account holder, the surname is Ntuli. Sifihlokuse. ID number 86011056120086. The address, my lord. So the address, my lord, is listed as 3950 Nongoma, Usutu Ndengeni, Nongoma, KwaZulu Natal. And the cell phone number is 073 305 9205.
Imininingwane ke ifundeka ngalendlela bhaleke uNtuli ID number 8601105612086 ikheli 3950 Nongoma Usuthu Dengeni Nongoma KwaZulu Natal ID number cell number 0733 059202.
Yes. That's it, my lord. That's it.
Yes, you can go further down in the document, there's an address.
The address, my lord, simply says Waiteville. I see there's Waiteville, 87 Dube Street.
Engilibonayo ke ikheli uma ngihlake 87 Dube Street Wattville.
And the cell phone number?
The cell phone number is 073 305 9202.
Bese kuthi ke cell phone number 073 305 9202.
Yes.
If we can, thank you, if we can revert to exhibit triple E in brackets 8, the ABSA bank statement. Just place on record the other parts.
So the other part, I suppose, my lord, it will be the address, which is still the same, 87 Dube Street, Waiteville. The code is 1501.
Just the name of the person for the sake of the record.
All right. It's
Account holder.
Yes, the account holder is Ntuli F. Then it says Sifiso Ntuli is a male. ID number 8601105812086. Talks about the nationality, which is described, my lord. Then it says address, it's 87 Dube Street. The cell phone number, Waiteville, 1501. Cell phone number 073 305 9202. Yes, that's basically that. Then it says correspondence language. Then it says English at the bottom.
Imininingwane ke ebhaliwe la ukuthi ubanike umnikazi wayo ke account lena ukuthi ke uNtuli istrata noma ke ikheli 87 Dube Street eWattville 1501 iyasho nomnikazi ke noma ke ulimi ke kubhaliwe ulimi la ukuthi ke uliphi ulimi ekhulunywa ngalo kwase bhala yona ke iEnglish.
And the date at the bottom.
The date is 2013-04-24, my lord. So 2013, April the 24th. Time it's 13:20, 18 seconds.
Idate ke 2013 ngay 24 April isikhathi u13:20 nama seconds awu 18.
Thank you. Now, during these proceedings, an exhibit has been handed up. It's exhibit triple G in brackets 1. These are section 25 statements. And it is not in dispute that the number that is mentioned here is associated with the instrument that was used by accused number 3. I think you also referred in your evidence to a cell phone that was found in possession of accused number 3.
Yes, in 2015, my lord, in February of 2015.
Yebo ke ngoFebruary 2015 ngishilo ke noma ngikhulumeleke ngawo ukuthi ke kunomakhala ekhukhwini owatholwa kuyena ke umsolwa wesithathu.
Can you just place that number on record?
So the number, my lord, it's the number, my lord, it's +2772 766 8169.
Inamba ke ifundeka ngale ndlela ke 072 766 8169.
That's the number, my
Just repeat that number again.
lord. +27. I'm reading it as it is, my lord. It's basically 766 8169. So it's 2772 766 8169.
Ifundeka ngaleyo ndlela ke leyo number +2772 766 8169.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, in these proceedings, Lieutenant Colonel Stein testified twice during the course of last year, and he was recently recalled in August of this year, 2024. Is that correct?
That is correct, my lord. I'm aware that he had to come back for the second time.
Ngiyakwazi ke lokho ukuthi ke uKolonel Stein kuye kwafuneka ke noma kwanesidingo ke sokuthi ke aphinde abuye futhi okwesibili esemuva ukuthi eseqedile ukuthula ubufakazi bakhe.
He also initially testified in August of 2023.
Yes, I'm not sure about the date, but I know, yes, he testified in 2023, my lord.
Noma ke ngingasena siqiniseko sedate kodwa ngiyazi ukuthi nango 2023 wethula ubufakazi.
And what is his role now? Is he still in active service?
No, my lord, he has since retired from November of last year. He's on pension.
Akasasebenzi ke manje ngephoyisa ke usedla ke impension ukusukela ngoNovember onyaka ophelile.
Did he play any role in the investigation of this matter?
Yes, he did, my lord. So, during the stage, and I'm going to the role that he played, after the profiling and the identification of the accused, 1 up to 5, my lord, one then utilized his services as an analyst because he's a cell phone analyst. So I asked him to assist after giving him what I had, which comprise of the details in terms of the names, the ID numbers that were obtained through the profiling system.
Just a minute.
Ingabe unengxenye yini abanayo ke noma ke khona akwenza ke naye kuphenywa kwalelo cala yebo emuva ke kokuthi ke sekutholakele ke manje ke pheceleziko lokho ngishilo ukuthi profiler kwabasolwa ukuthi bawobanike ukusuka kokuqala kwefica ke kowesihlanu yena ke umcwaningi womakhala ekhukhwini noma ke cell phone analyst. Yes.
So I gave him the accused details, my lord, as well as the numbers that will appear on their profile for him to analyze further and get us or get me more information insofar as the links to these names.
Bekungamnikeza ke amagama abo ke abasolwa nama number futhi ke nokuthi ke angibhekeleke angitholeleke ngokuhlanganisa ke abasolwa ke nalawo ma number lawo.
The primary task at that stage, my lord, because one did not have the section 205 of 2014 at that stage when I took over, the waiting period of 3 years had lapsed. So one was working on establishing whether there is a link between these accused to see, or rather the names that were given to me, to establish whether they know each other in order to collaborate what was contained in Exhibit JJ and HH. J and HH.
Inhloso ke yalokho ke nanjengoba ke ama section 205 noma kwangekho ke I section 205 yango 2014 futhi ke nesikhathi ke lesiyana ke esibekwayo ke noma abasibekayo ke sokuthi seminyaka emithathu sasesidlule wakubheka ke ukuthi kwakhona yini ke ukuhlangana noma ukuxhumana okukhona ke kulamagama lana noma ukuthi ke abasola lapha bayazana yini nanjengoba kushiwo ke exhibit JJ kanye nayo HH.
But furthermore, my lord, I also gave him the data, that is now the cell phone communications that were in the docket, that was done for all the people who were in the house at the time. In other words, all applications that were in the docket, when I received the docket, including the downloadings, I gave it to him to also look at that.
Okunye futhi engakwenza ke ukuthi ngibnikeke kwakune mininingwane ke noma ke idate eyikhona ke kwidokodo noma kwidokethi ke umayana nokuxhumana noma ukukhulumisana okwakukhona ke kwalabo ababesendlini ke ngamnika ke nalokho ukuthi akubheke.
My lord, but my request to him as I was ending these things that I received on the docket was firstly to authenticate the data that I was giving him, because he was an expert, to say, before you give me the end results as to whether, whatever you find, please authenticate, check the authenticity of this data, and then you can work on it.
Okwami ke futhi ke kwakuwukuthi ke ngaphambi kokuthi ke ungilethele imiphumelelo kodwa ngicela ke uqinisekise ke qala ke lokhu enginako noma lokhu okukhona ke la ukubheke.
The report I got, my lord, is that one, they were authenticated.
Umbiko engawuthola ke ukuthi ke impela ke wakwenza ke lokho aqiniseke noma atholeke ukuthi lokhu okakukhona ke lapha yana kwakwempela.
Secondly, then, that there was a link between the accused.
Okwesibili ke ukuthi kwakukhona ukuxhumana okwakukhona ke noma kwakuxhumanisa abasolwa.
And then thirdly, in his report, I recall that he said he also, on the downloads, find the link between accused 5 and Ms. Kelly Kumalo.
Wangitshela ke nokuthi ke kuona ka ama downloads lawo ke wakhona kukhona ke okuxhumanisa umsolo wesihlanu kanye naye uMiss Kelly Khumalo.
So, my lord, that is the role in essence that he played up to the time when he was approaching his retirement date.
Ikona ke akwenza noma wona ke umsebenzi lowo awenza ke kuze kuyofinyelela ke isikhathi lesi owayesezobeka phansi ke ngaso emsebenzini.
Sorry, just before you proceed, if you say he found a link between the accused, what do you mean?
My lord, he informed me, so one will not, the report I got from him and in summary was that he could establish the link between the accused, that they are communicating with each other and they know each other.
Awangitshela kona ke uma esithi kwakhona ukuxhumana phakathi kwabasola ukuthi ke wathola ke ukuthi ke bayaxhumana ke abasola futhi ke bayazana.
And I'm not quoting him verbatim, my lord, but I'm saying the essence was that there is a link between these accused. That's the essence of the report he gave me.
Engikhulumayo ke akusibe ukuthi ke ngisho ncamashi lokho akusho kodwa nje ngingasho nje ukuthi ke kusemqoka washo nje ukuthi kwakhona ukuxhumana okwakukhona phakathi kwabasola.
And he further disposed that, my lord, in the form of a statement. And I think there was also disc of his findings and his spider web matching, all the expertise that they used there.
Futhi ke lokho ke wabe esekubhala phansi ke ku statement noma ke sikhona statement asenza ke mayela nalokho.
In addition to that, my lord, I also asked him, other than just the analysis, but also, not only to check also the 205, but also to analyze the downloads of the cell phone that was seized from accused number 3 in 2015.
Ngaphelele nje kulokho ke okunye engamcela kodwa ke ukuthi ke acwaningeke lokho okwatholwa ke noma ke ama downloads lawo atholakala ku makhalekhukhwini wakhe umsolo wesithathu ngo2015.
And that was in addition to Sergeant Mabaso as well, who was also working on that analysis from the war room.
Lokho ke kwenziwa ke phezulu kwalokho ke okwakwenziwe uyena ke noma kwakwenziwa uyena uSergeant Mabasa.
Yes. Perhaps, my lord, while I deal with the downloads, it may be prudent just to take it back to say these downloads, they were initial, and I want to take it back when this incident happened in 2014 on the 26th of October. What transpired, and I'm basically talking to the existence of the downloads, what transpired after the incident happened, the investigation team at that time seized the cell phones from all the people who were inside the house, and Lieutenant Colonel Nitlin is the one who took control of those cell phones.
Uma ngabuyela emuva ke ukuthi ke kwithimba elaliphenyaa ke noma ithimba lokuqala elaliphenyaa ke bathatha ke noma babaphuca ke omakhalekhukhwini balabo bantu ababe phakathi ke endlini uma isigameko senzeka, futhi ke uLieutenant Colonel Nitlin uyena ke owakwenza lokho noma uyena ke owaye ephethe lawo ma cell phones lawo.
Thereafter, my lord, the said cell phones, including the one of Ms. Kelly Kumalo, were then handed over to Captain Mushwana, who was part of that team at the time.
Futhi ke lawo ma cell phones lawo ke ufaka phakathi ke nawo ke I cell phone yakhe uMiss Kelly Khumalo kuyena ke sorry uCaptain Mushwana owayingxenye ke yethimba eliphenyayo ngaleso sikhathi leso.
Then the downloads, my lord, were done during that period, my lord, including on the cell phone of Ms. Kelly Khumalo. So it was done there, stored, fast-tracking to 2020 when we came on board, or when rather Colonel Stein came on board and asked to analyze. Then he was able to take those downloads, analyze them, and then link the numbers that he saw there of one of these accused with Ms. Kelly Khumalo. But the actual downloads, the actual was done in 2014, basically the same night, a few hours after the incident happened, my lord.
Kulokho ke okwenziwa ke noma ke ama downloads enziwa ke ngaleso sikhathi leso ke sango 2014 abe ese egcinwa ke uma manje usuhamba ke ngesikhathi ke uya ku 2020 uma ngabe uKenneth Stein sekuyena ke manje oqhubekayo ke nophenyo noma ke nomsebenzi ke wathatha lawo ma downloads lawo ayenziwe ke ngo 2014 ufaka phakathi ke nawo ke makhalekhukhwini wakhe uMiss Kelly Khumalo ila athola khona ukuthi kunoxhumana okwakukhona ke phakathi kwakhe uMiss Kelly Khumalo nomunye wabasolwa laba phambi kwenkantolo.
So the essence of what I'm saying, my lord, is that what Colonel Stein established on his analysis was the downloads that was done back that time. It's not something new that he created. It was done back in 2014, few hours after the incident happened. The only difficulty that the police at the time had, they did not have sight of accused number 5 in particular, where the number was recovered, but the number was there. When we fast-tracking to 2020, when Colonel Stein comes on board, profiling of accused number 5 was already at hand, and he was able now to say, I can see this number on 2 different dates. That's my recollection, my lord.
Okwenzekayo ke ukuthi ke lawo msebenzi noma lawo ma downloads ke enziwa ke ngo 2014 njalo amahora nje ambalwa ke emuva kokuthi isigameko senzeka ke uma sesiya phambili ke manje ngo 2020 uma ngabe uKenneth Stein esenza ke futhi ke ababengenako ke amaphoyisa ngaleso sikhathi leso ke iprofile noma ke ukwazi yena ke umsolo wesihlanu, kodwa manje ke uma uKenneth Stein esewenza lo msebenzi noma lawo ma downloads useyakwazi kuma ngabe ebona le number ke ukuthi ke inumber lena ke ayibonileke amahlandla amabili.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, which were those occasions where there was contact between accused number 5 and Ms. Kelly Khumalo?
My lord, according to my recollection, the first date was the 2nd of August, 2014, and the second date is 15 October 2015. That's my recollection of the report he gave me, my lord.
15 October
2014.
2014. Lawo mahlandla ke engikhuluma ngawo ukuthi ke kwakunokuxhumana kwakhona ke phakathi kwakhe ke umsolwa wesihlanu kanye naye ke uMiss Kelly Khumalo kwakunge 2 August 2014 kanye ne 15 October 2014.
Now, in what format was this downloaded data stored?
My lord, I don't have expertise, so I'd rather not want to venture there. All I know, when I received the docket, it was in a DIX format, compact disc, and I forwarded it in that format, my lord, to him. But ask him to authenticate. So I do know that he then authenticated it through his means and found the data that corresponds with what was contained in the docket.
Mina ke uma ngindlulisela ke na ke kwakungi disk ke leyo ke wakwazi ukuthi abheka athola ukuthi ke kunjalo ke ukuze ngizokuhlanganisa noma ke ngizofaka kulona ke idocket, kodwa mina uma ngidlulisela ke na ke iformat noma ke indlela ke yayingayo wayayi ku disk.
Same with the section 205, my lord. They were in a DIX format, but same process. I said he must authenticate them because I wanted him to work on something that is authentic, seeing that the docket is exchanged various hands, just to make sure that we work on credible and reliable data.
Is it same as with the, sorry, I just missed it. Same as with the,
So I'm not downloads, same with the section 205.
is the, yeah, that's one. Na kuma 205 kwakukanjalo ke nawe ke mangwadlulisa ke na ke kwakungedisk ke futhi ngamcela ke futhi ukuthi iqala ke aqinisekiseke ukuthi ke iyona ke impela ngoba ngangifuna ke manje ngoba ke amadokodo noma ke idocket leli ke lalisedlule kwizandla eziningi ukuthi iqala ke uma ngaphambi kokuthi asebenze enze isiqinisekiso sokuthi kuyikona.
Now, what happened when Lieutenant Colonel Stein went on retirement?
My Lord, just before he went on retirement, just close to those months, I then requested Lieutenant Colonel House to assist. At the time, I do know that what was pressing was the analysis of cell phones related to accused 1 and 2. I remember that was the pressing issue, but fast-tracking from there, my Lord, he ended inheriting the entire data and the whole thing that Kenneth Stein did.
Kwenzekani ke nje ngaphambi kokuthi ke uKenneth Stein ashiyeke noma ke ahlale phansi ke emsebenzini ngiyazi ukuthi ngacela yena ke uLieutenant Colonel Lieutenant Colonel House futhi ke ngiyazi ke ukuthi ke okona kokusemqoka ngaleso sikhathi noma okwakufuneka kona ke ngokuphaphathele nama cellphone akhe umsolo wokuqala kanye nowesibili ke kodwa egcineni ke wagcina eseqhubeka noma ke esewenza umsebenzi wako konke uLieutenant Colonel House.
Yes, and what role did he play?
Well, Lieutenant Colonel House, my Lord, played the same role that Kenneth Stein was playing. He's an analyst, cell phone analyst. He was basically asked to do the same thing or to confirm the work that was done by Kenneth Stein. He played the same role, my Lord.
Akwenza ke yena ke uLieutenant Colonel House ke wenza ke umsebenzi owodwa ke noma ke ofanayo ke nalowo wenziwa uyena uLieutenant Colonel Stein wacelwa ke futhi ukuthi abheke ke aqinisekiseke umsebenzi lowo wenziwa uyena uLieutenant Colonel Stein.
But also, my Lord, in addition to the analysis that he was doing, I think in relation, initially, as I said, it was in relation to accused 1 and 2 in terms of the data, the cell phones that was available, but also to see if he could establish a link with the other accused, my Lord.
Njengoba bese ngishilo ke ukuthi ke yena ke kwakufanele ukuthi akwenzeke mayelana nemininingwane ke emakhalekhukhwini bakhe kumangalo lo umsolo wokuqala kanye nowesibili ke kodwa kwakuwubheka ke ukuxhumana okungabe kukhona ke phakathi kwabasola.
Now, my Lord, what is also prudent to mention here is that although the 205, because I recall the 205 that both analysts were working on were either 2019 or 2018, so it was out of the period of the incident when it happened in 2014, and we could not get those records at that time when we took over. What was important to collaborate this document was the relationship, as I said, because names are mentioned, and one wanted to know that do these people know each other? Is there a link, as they are mentioned, that this is calling this one, they have discussion and so forth, and that was established.
Lana njengoba bese ngishilo ke ngaphambilini ukuthi ke isikhathi ke kwakuphakathi ku2019 noma u2018 ke futhi sasesidlulileke leso sikhathi leso ukuthi sasingathola ke leyo mininingwane kodwa kwakusemqoka ke lana ukubheka ke ukuthi ke labantu laba bayazana yini noma kukhona yini ukuxhumana noma ukukhulumisana phakathi kwabo futhi lokho ke kwathola.
Yes.
Now, if you say the section 205s that you received were outside the period, from which period until which period were they?
My Lord, I wouldn't remember from the top of my head, but what I know is that we couldn't get the periods for this accused. In other words, I did not personally apply for section 205 that I received of 2014. We couldn't get that because the window period of 3 years had lapsed. So we had to work with what we've got. I think we could go in so far as 2018 or 15, and others were pulling them on the information that was there on the case file. I do know that the closest one that took us to 2014 was brought to my attention when Miss Pinky Bettellingham was testifying. It was the first time I heard about it. We had no sight of it prior to that, my Lord.
Engikushoyo ke lana ukuthi ke njengoba isikhathi ke lesi esasindlulileke lokubizwa ngokuthi ke i-window period ke kwakungekho esasingakuthola ke ukuye emuva ke kubuyele kuyena ke u2014 kodwa ke engikukhumbulayo ke noma ke ngakuzwa ke kwakungenkathi ke kwabethula ubufakazi yena ke uMiss Pinky Bettellingham ila sasisondele khona ke ku2014.
And which date are you referring to?
The one of
2014 date.
2014 October in specific, my lord, is the data with regard to a cell phone number of accused number 3.
I-data ke le engikhuluma ngayo ke 2014 mayelana ke ne cell phone number yakhe umsolo wesithathu.
And it covers the period of this incident. In other words, the 26th of October 2014, although it was applied for unrelated matter, my lord. In other words, not for this case.
Kodwa ke ifaka isikhathi ke lesi esecala leli ke eliphambi kwenkantolo ke noma njena uma kufaka sona ke isicelo sasifakelwa ke elinye icala engasilona leli.
And you've mentioned that you became aware of this data when Ms. Pinky Fathiligem testified. When was that?
I think it was during her time, my lord, when she was in this court, sometime this year, when she was dealing with and consulting with the state advocate. It's the only, that time the state advocate brought it to my attention that there is this data that was available. I was not aware of it.
Cabanga ukuthi ke isikhathi ke lesi owaye ngaso la enkantolo ke futhi ke consulta ke noma ke ekhuluma naye ke umshushisi umshushisi ke ongitshelayo ke ukuthi ke khona ke lemininingwane noma le data ekhona ke mina engangayazi.
I just want to show you again GG in brackets 3.
It's GG1.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Can you identify it? Section 2.5 for which number?
The number that is depicted here, my lord, is this 072-766-9189, my lord. That is a number linked to accused number 3, my lord.
Repeat the number please. 072.
766.
Okay. Inamba ke lena engikhuluma ngayo ke u-072-766-8169 yona ke number le into ihlanganiswa nayo umsolo wesithathu.
Now, you mentioned that you became aware of the data in 2014 data when Ms. Of the cell phone data of accused number 3 when Ms. Pinky Fathiligem testified in this year in these proceedings.
That's correct, my lord. It was just around when she was consulting with the state advocate regarding this her testimony.
Kungesikhathi ke owayekhulumisana ngaso ke naye ke umshushisi yena uMiss Pinky Fathiligem mayelana ke necala leli noma ke lungiselela ukwethula kwakhe ubufakazi uma ke ngizwa noma ngazi ke ngale mininingwane noma le data yale number yango 2014.
Is that exhibit triple G in brackets 1, is that the data that you're referring to that you became aware
Okay, let me
recently?
Let me check the dates, my lord. Yes, it is, my lord, because it says the data of 2014, my lord, and it covers, the court can just bear with me. Yes, it is the same data, my lord, because it goes up to the 26th of October 2014, my lord.
Yona ke le mininingwane noma le data engikhuluma ngayo ngoba ke ehamba iyofika ke ngazo i-26 October 2014.
It's good, please, my lord. We were just about to start a new topic. Will this be an appropriate time to adjourn for the day? It's 15:22.
Okay, fine.
Kusasa ngo-10.
Yeah, the others will be here at 9 o'clock. Where's the gentleman? You mustn't forget about the 9 o'clock appointment. Okay, 10 o'clock tomorrow.